Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app, use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Hello.
Let's go.
The champ is here.
Happy Halloween.
I mean, it feels like rookie year right now for me over here. That's
What?
right.
Who are you? What are you?
I'm rookie or MJ with a little bit of Mike.
Run DMC.
Mike would wear this on the go.
I rock the bucket hat.
Okay.
He would do that. I mean, mostly he would wear the Kangol, but I wasn't. This was a late edition, little fishing situation, but
There you go. And
Good to
I'm
see you,
the
Woot.
champ over here.
you're
I
like
got the belt. You know, I'm laying the smackdown on some candy.
straight
Yeah,
leader.
You know what?
And the depressed / happy bear is with us, too. I can never tell. The face is always confusing.
I thought that was the Kanye bear or something like that.
Yeah, we'll call it dropout, yeah.
Yeah, and then we got Baby Shark over here. Doot, 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 doot.
Is this Baby Shark or Left Shark? Kevin, do you know what the cost? It's the Katy Perry Left Shark, right? Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Baby Shark. Huh?
Remember the Super Bowl halftime show that she did, and there was that shark, the weird shark. Well, there was two sharks. One was left, one was right, and then Left Shark went viral. My left shark just went viral.
Yeah, that was a great.
Hey.
I love that halftime show.
Okay. Hey, it's Halloween, right?
There's no
something
way.
to celebrate, right? This game was a little bit tough, but
I mean, come on. Are you? First of all, let's get serious for a second. I need my hands and I need my head.
yeah, put that down.
I still feel the same way I felt yesterday. The Bears have a quarterback,
They do.
right?
This is
They don't have a defense, but they have a quarterback.
I slept well. I woke up well. I was fired up when Woot walked in today. You walked in with a big smile on your face. Lawrence is in a great mood. Head of content. Kevin's moving around here and with a bounce to his step. I mean, come on. This is we are turning corners here. And by the way, we are winning 5 in a row.
Let's go.
5 in a row.
You're still on that?
I am on that.
That's not happening.
With the Dolphins coming up?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I know 1 in a row might be tough.
Yeah,
Listen,
at this point.
I'm on 5 in a row until they don't win 5 in a row, and they're winning 5 in a row. How's that?
Okay, so you're on 5 in a row until
But
next Sunday at 3 o'clock.
I think the one thing that we talked about, right? We do have a quarterback. Like everyone saw, whether you're a Bears fan or not, Justin Fields is that guy, right? My only thing I want to pick apart with him are 2 throws in particular, right? The first one, great play call by Gessie, taking a shot, hard play action. St. Brown has a step on him. Put him to only where he can get it, right? Don't leave it short, like birdie putt, right? Never leave the birdie putt short. Justin Fields, you can't leave it short.
I like
at
that
point.
analogy.
And I would say that Woot, he heard you, champion, and was like, I'm not leaving this short. I'm going to put it right out there for you, Velas.
Yep. And he throws it on the money to Velas, right? Throws it on the money to Velas Jones. You got to catch that. And he's running with his hands out too much. Run. Last second, put your hands out
Catch
there,
the
right?
ball.
And then the only other one was the one to Pettis, right? Because Pettis had a step on him.
He did.
He kind of turned both ways. But as soon as he had a step on him, Justin Fields needs to put that out there. But other than that, what he did with his feet was unbelievable. In the running game, he is Lamar Jackson-esque. It's unbelievable.
Snap decisions. I just want to say this. Agreed, Velas, you're an NFL player. Catch the football. But, like, if I may take a shot at the non-athletes out there, it's not as easy of a catch as you think. He's running full speed. The ball's out there. It's not like we're just playing catch in the park. What bothered me more with Velas yesterday when I watched the tape today was actually the throw from Trevor Siemian on 3rd down when Fields had left the game. He threw him a 4-yard nothing, and he bobbled that.
Oh, the double catch.
Yeah. Like
the double
that.
catch.
Now that is like, to me, that's worse.
Yeah.
He just threw you a little nothing for it. You're bobbling that?
Yeah.
I think he's got some confidence issues right now. And
Clearly.
Yeah.
First
of all, welcome in, everybody. Happy Halloween. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Monday and realizing that there was a lot of good on offense that can kind of mask what was going on defense. Adam Hoge, Corey Wootton, and Mark Carman here in the house on our Monday as we break this thing down. And if you want even more content, we have a film breakdown already up on our CHGO Bears Twitter account at CHGO_Bears, as I had some questions for Corey Wootton about some of these defensive plays because it was rough, Woot.
It is, man. Looking at it, watching it again, it was really bad. And the thing that we've been pointing out all year, with the exception of last week, is stopping the run. Because teams, whether that's their mantra or not, you know the Cowboys were going to run it, but every team is coming out like, we can run the football on them, like at will. And Pollard set records out there. I think he was like one of the first Cowboys guys to rush for 3 touchdowns, maybe since Tony Dorsett or something like that. He was putting up records, and especially on that one long play that we broke down, right? That should have been a 3-yard loss.
Hey, Woot, Hoge,
Should have been a 3-yard loss.
Hogan, I got research for you. Do you know the last time the Bears gave up 3 rushing touchdowns to a running back?
No, what?
Wait, can I just clarify? Carm has research for you. I have nothing to do with this.
When I brought it up to you, you knew who it was.
I know, but I just want to point out that once he finds out when and where this was, that I had nothing to do with bringing it back up.
This must be in 2013.
Oh, it's October 20th, 2013.
Oh gosh, who was it?
No record, no nothing.
I'm trying to think that year.
I don't think you could pull the name.
That year, I forget it.
You were.
I forgot about that year, 2013 defense.
I'll give you. You were on the road.
Yep.
You lost 45-41.
Okay, what, NFC, AFC?
NFC.
Okay.
It was on the East Coast.
Was it the Redskins?
It was.
Oh, was it, what's his name? Alfred Morris, right?
Nope.
No.
Roy
Halou gassed you
Roy
off.
Halou Jr.
Yes.
Wow.
Dang.
Roy Hadam-ass Lou.
I
So
have
it was
amnesia from that one.
What was funny, because I was there covering that game. Hester had a punt return touchdown in that game. Josh McCown played.
Yep.
Actually, I think both quarterbacks played. I think Cutler had an injury in that game.
Yeah.
Wood had a couple of tackles.
What's funny was as soon as he just said the name Roy, because when he asked me this question, he didn't say what game. I'm like, who was it? He said Roy Halou, and I go, 2013 Washington.
Yep. He was number 26, I think, right?
My guy. Well, hold on. RG3 started the game 18-29, 298 yards, couple touchdowns. You guys picked him off. McCown was 14-20, greatest quarterback in Bears history, except for Justin Fields. Cutler, it was 3 for 8. You suck. All right, and what was the question? What was Roy Halou?
26, right? I think.
Well, the question was how many. Last time he gave up 3 touchdowns to a running back in a game, right?
He was 11. He had 11 carries for 41 yards, so it's not like.
But
he was
3
gassed.
touchdowns.
But 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I can't see what number he was wearing.
But look at the stat sheet of Pollard. 14 carries, 131 yards, almost 10 yards a pop, and 3 touchdowns. My man, highlight reel on us. It's bad.
It was. But as you pointed out, like on that last touchdown, 54 yards, it should have been a tackle for loss. Roquan Smith takes a bad angle on the backfield, could have made the play. Eddie Jackson tries to get his, clip his heels from behind, couldn't make the play. And then they still had, when we hear, and this is in the film breakdown if you want to find it on Twitter, but when you hear Matt Eberflus talk about cupping the ball, what he's talking about is like basically having the guy surrounded by multiple defenders. The Bears still had that at the line of scrimmage, and Nicholas Morrow
one arm tackle. Like, I don't know what he was doing. That's a loaf. Like, that's a double loaf.
Triple loaf.
Right? He got to sit in a chair, and then we're just dumping bread on him. That was bad.
They should actually do that today.
You can't do that. But back in 2013, we really struggled on stopping the run. And, the year before, 2012, we were one of the best defenses in the league. And we basically had the same personnel with the exception of Brian Urlacher wasn't on the team. And we just couldn't stop the run. I think it had to do with the coaching staff and just changing little components. So, yes, we don't have the talent that's up to par, but I think when it comes to stopping the run, you really don't need talent like that. It's about it's attitude. It's attitude and it's discipline. That's it. Stopping the run.
So, does that mean that if you want to be an optimistic Bears fan today and dream 5 in a row, when you look at the schedule and realize that they're winnable games here, I'm not saying, whatever, they're not going to be favored against the Dolphins. I get it, but they're not even a touchdown underdog. They're at home. Miami, whatever. But can it be? How much better can they be? By the way, everyone's saying 49 points, and that's true. It was 49, but let's not. It really was 42.
Sure.
Micah Parsons.
Oh, it was only 42.
Only
Carm?
42.
Wow.
It's only 40. Hey,
Yeah.
42 is better than 49. David Montgomery fumbling, Justin Fields playing Frogger. So it was
Exactly.
It wasn't. I'm just saying, how much better do you think they can be coached up to be? Because I do believe in this is Matt Eberflus's thing. He is a defensive coach. I like Alan Williams. I feel like there's
Did you just accidentally call him Eberflus?
Eberflus. Eber dead. Eber killing us. But come on, Flus. I love you, buddy. Let's go.
But I think people are sleeping on the fact, and we talked about this, how much Robert Quinn was a factor in there, right? You talk about a great emotional win, defensively finally plays up to par. They're feeling high as can be. And then the next day, what happens? They trade Robert Quinn, right? Roquan's in the press conference almost tearing up. So I was kind of worried about how this would mess with the chemistry right after a big win, and I thought this would give them the confidence. And then you have one of your best defensive guys gone now, the emotional leader of the team, that's going to get people going and adjustments, things of that nature, hold people accountable, and he's not there. And then we basically have 3 defensive ends, two really young guys, especially Robinson and Gibson, and then Muhammad hasn't played up to the level. So it's almost like, yeah, that position got a lot worse overnight.
So I have a few questions on this for you. One is absolutely emotional. You can't deny that there's an emotional factor to that probably hurt the Bears in this whole week, basically from the trade into the game. And it is Eberflus who says this is an emotional game. You have to play with emotion. So if you're going to have a head coach who says that, you have to acknowledge the fact when something like that happens, there is going to be an emotional factor. First question I have, and I'll go to the other ones. But the first one is, how long can that last? Like, in other words, I get it, but at what point do you just have to be like, okay, it is a business. You have to understand the situation this organization is in and get over it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's easier said than done, especially for a very young team, right? We don't have too many veterans, Eddie Jackson is the veteran. He's still relatively young in the league, so now, Robert Quinn coming off his best year, the emotional leader. I think it's tough. So I'm hoping they can bounce back from it. But I just don't think things are going to get better. Like, the way that the defensive ends have been playing now just hasn't been up to par, right? And the pass rush is one area. It's just the running game for me is the hardest thing to comprehend, because I think when you look at run defense, it's literally about attitude and discipline. That's it, right? Like, he's not blocking me. I'm going to get off the football, and it doesn't take much skill at all, right? That's an aspect that doesn't require much skill.
So shouldn't that be the part that the coaching is like this coaching boost, this whole hits principle, like you're essentially saying that like that's what they need to be doing. It like I'm sure there's some plays it's going to come down to talent, but like. And I think a good example is the Nicholas Morrow arm tackle. Like, Nicholas Morrow might not be the best linebacker in the league. He might not be here next year or 2 years when this team gets better. But, like, you're in the NFL. You got to make that play.
Exactly. It's about effort. That was a lack of effort.
So when does that fall on the coaching staff, I guess? That they're not buying in, or I think they are buying in, but they're not executing the hits principle on game day sometimes.
So sometimes I think when you see stuff like that, like Morrow's effort at the play, that tells me a little bit about the coaching, holding them accountable, things like that. And I think they've let too many things creep in. That's what I think. In 2013, same thing. We let too many little things creep in from training camp. And I understand how they were trying to change this culture, but I don't know if they were really practicing what they preach, holding people accountable. And that's what I see out there, because guys are out of their gap. It's already been, what was it, week 8 this past week, right? And then And then all of a sudden we're having the same thing, the communication with Gordon and Eddie Jackson. That's a routine play. You see that all the time. Guy goes in motion. You communicate that. He stays outside. But these little things have been creeping in. So that makes me question Alan Williams and company. And I told you, Eberflus might have to start calling the defense.
Yeah, but okay, hold on.
No, I'm being
okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. But here, listen. You can't blame the defense for the Washington loss. That was 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The defense played fine against the Patriots, more than fine, I would say. Well, right?
Yeah.
So now you have a terrible week against Dallas, who's, by the way, a Super Bowl contender, and just throw in the short week, Robert Quinn, all that. You're going to have their attention, right? You're going to be coming back home. You're going to have human nature, I think, moving back in your little bit of momentum coming back towards you. So
see, to me though, like, I don't mean to interrupt you. Like, this just comes down to talent for me.
Well, and that's part of it. That's part of it.
Because look at the last time they got steamrolled by an offense. It was in Minnesota in that first half when they just couldn't stop Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, and they had legitimate dudes on the field.
But you don't think that comes down to game planning? Because you look at the second half in that.
Yeah, expand on your point that you're saying that Eberflus should maybe call the defense.
Yes, because listen, right? You're a defensive-minded coach. Whether you're calling the plays or not, the lack of the way the defense is playing, that's on you, right? So that makes you look bad. So at that point, at a certain point, you have to step in and say, listen, I got to run this ship, and this is on me at this point, right? Because this defense is a reflection of him, even though he's not calling the plays. So I think he needs to step in there. And I told you about the idea of bringing a 3 technique at the 5 technique or the 6 technique at the strength of the formation, based on what they're going to run. If they know they're going to run downhill there, you have a backup 3 technique at the point of attack right now, just in rushing situations.
Okay.
So that way you can stop the run. You have a more stout run defender. And all of a sudden that starts to clean it up. And then on third down, you bring in Gibson, Robinson, whatever. But I think that could be a good plan because the stretch zone, those outside zones are gashing us, absolutely gashing us. And that comes down to point of attack.
But do you want Flus, who's a first-year head coach, do you want him taking on added responsibility of calling defensive plays? If you are doing that, it almost feels like that's a long-term play. Like that's what you're going to do, at least for the rest of the year. And if not going forward, That's a bold move, Woot.
It is, but at some point, right? You look at majority of the coaches of the league, the really good ones, right? They call their own plays, right? Andy Reid is calling the offensive plays,
But he's been doing it for 8,000
yeah,
years.
but this could be good experience for him, right? Like at this point, this is a rebuilding season. We're trying to get things figured out. The defense hasn't cut it as a whole this whole season.
Yep.
They played two good games, I guess. Redskins talent-wise, or Commanders rather, I don't know how good they are. Like,
I'm jumping in the head of the Flus right now and thinking, is he, when his head hits the pillow last night, do you think he's thinking of something, maybe I should be calling the plays? Because he very well might be thinking that.
I think so. Whenever you look at it, right, if a coordinator's not doing his job, what do? They change things, right? They do. They change things.
He does seem like the type, though, that is like, you do your job, like a straight down the middle Flus. Like that's his role. I'm not going to step on him.
And I do like that he's the CEO guy on game day, and he's aware of everything that's going on. And that's one of the things I will say. We're 8 games into this thing with him. Has there really been a major situational blunder that you can remember?
Just the end of the first half stuff with the time.
A little bit at the beginning.
bit.
That was early in the season, I think. And by the way, the Bears have been great before and after halftime the last couple weeks.
Middle 8.
Like dominating in the middle 8. So I think that there's some good signs there with Eberflus, the head coach. I do have questions. Like the defense, I don't think we would have thought would have been this bad. But I do want to point out, once again, I think the Cowboys are really good. And I think the Bears just have a lot of holes in that front 7.
Yeah.
Like, who are the guys in the front 7 right now that you would be like, yeah, they should still be here next year? I would say
Justin Jones, right?
Justin Jones and Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
I would throw Armand Watson there.
No.
Yes, he's flashed. I like Armand.
Okay, the play you were so excited about
Yeah.
that he made, like I think on the second play of the game.
Nobody blocked
yesterday.
him.
No, but the running back still gained 4 yards on that play. That's a win for the offense. It's a
That's-
running play where they got 4 yards. They're happy about that.
Hold on. You don't think that Armand Watts, who's 24 years old, can be a rotational player for the Bears?
He can, yeah.
He can.
He's flashed a couple times.
okay.
I get that they have $125 million to spend, but you're not going to be able to fill every single hole out there.
Well, okay, regardless of that argument, though, the problem is he shouldn't be starting, and Angelo Blackson has not been cutting it,
Yep.
in his spot. Mike Pennell, no. Like, they need to find more starters.
They do. But I think Armand's had a bunch of nice moments this year.
Yeah. But
Oh, his second-year guy.
When you're celebrating a 4-yard gain, though, it's like his greatest play of the game.
I think the point you're making is on the front 7. There's no locks for the future. Dominic Robinson, obviously, we'll see how he develops.
I don't
think
disagree
he's
with
going to improve. Travis Gibson could be a guy potentially. We kind of thought he'd take the next step. He's been up and down. He's flashed at times. But I think defensive end and 3 technique are 2 huge needs for next year, right? Obviously we need another tackle. We need some receivers. But that defensive front, because you win championships with defensive fronts.
Let me give Carman a little credit, though. 4 yards is 6 yards less than Pollard averaged on the day. So maybe that was a win.
Thank you,
You're right.
Lawrence.
Positive play. Positive play.
Okay, so Dom Rob,
Yeah.
how do you use him? He played 37% of the snaps, whatever it was yesterday. He was about to call it a third.
Yeah.
Is that how you would use him? You want to make him a third down rushing guy because he's clearly not defending the run right now. It's getting a little.
Yeah.
Not a little. He's getting out physical.
Yeah, I think so. I brought up a great point about that backup 3 technique coming in there, and I feel like that would be a good fit, in the run game to kind of address some of these issues because you need point of attack strength. every time there's a point of attack run, we're getting driven back. You know, some of these young defensive ends. I see, you know, a tight end driving guys back. In this league right now, there's very few tight ends that like there used to be, right? From Green Bay, what's his name?
Tanyan?
No, he's been in the league for a while. Drawing a blank. Mercedes Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Mercedes Lewis
He's been in the league for like 37 years.
He's a legit blocker. But other than that, there aren't too many really good blocking tight ends. Like when a tight end goes against a defensive end should whip him 99% of the time, especially in this day and age in football. They're glorified receivers at this point. So they should take that personally. You should never get driven back by a tight end. Right? Any coach is like, no, that ain't happening.
I have a specific question on the way they used the defensive end rotation yesterday without Robert Quinn. So I'll ask you that in a second. But first, got to tell you about our friends at Shady Rays, because they never understood why sunglasses have to be so damn expensive. So they're like, all right, we're going to change that. And they're telling you now that you don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses, because they make premium polarized shades featuring world-class clarity, durability, and styles catered to everyone in every lifestyle. And if you break them or lose them or drop them like the Bears wide receivers like to do and step on them and then you need new ones, well, they'll just send you a new pair just like that. It's the greatest replacement program that's out there. Brand new pair, no questions asked for you. And even with that strong of a protection program, they still manage to make quality that I can tell you, because I've had Shady Rays, are great. And they have 200,000 five-star reviews to back that up as well. My favorite part is that they also send 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed. They've donated over 20 million meals to date. So this is exclusive for our listeners. Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season. Use code CHGO and get 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. That's buy one, get one free, 2 pairs for as low as $54. Again, that's code CHGO. Redeem only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades.
So I went last night to see the Blackhawks play. It was a ton of fun.
Kind of exciting game, actually.
It was a great game. I am
Perfect tank game. You know, you lose, although actually it wasn't perfect. They actually got a point in overtime, so that's not good. But score some goals. Great goal by I can't say the guy's name.
Yeah, I have no idea who was on the team.
Number 89.
But I had a great time.
Yeah.
Kane and Taze are still there. And then there was a bunch of other guys that I was just that were skating around. I had no idea.
I'm probably with you, by the way. I probably could not name a single player.
Do you know who the goalie is?
No.
I
saw Marc-Andre Fleury was on the other team.
Alex Stalock. You got Soderblom, who's up from
Soderblom was amazing.
He's up from Rockford because Peter Mrazek is out.
See, the good news here is we have a CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
Yes.
To, so we don't have to know
and they do a
things.
phenomenal job. So clearly we're not trying to step on their toes in any way, shape, or form. But my point is that the best way to get tickets for the Blackhawks right now is through Game Time Tickets, the hottest new ticketing site. Makes it easier than ever. Best deals for Blackhawk hockey or any sport, concert, show. If you want to go to see the Blackhawks play tomorrow night against the LA Kings and sit up top, and by the way, you can, of course, upgrade your seats. I think you buy up top, and there's just lots of seats available. Everybody wants to become friends with everybody around the stadium. I made it all the way down to the front row in the glass yesterday. I don't know how I did that, but I channeled my youth. You can get in for $25 that's with fees through the Game Time. Download this Game Time app. I'm telling you, it's addicting. You want to look at it. Bulls and the Pacers on Wednesday night is a good value too. The Hornets. Thank you very much. If you love CHGO, you're going to love Game Time. Best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. 15 million people have downloaded the Game Time app. Score the best seats to all your favorite events. Game Time. Let's go. Blackhawks.
All right.
Yeah.
Defensive and snaps look like this. Al-Quadi Muhammad, 83%.
Way too many.
Travis Gibson, 67%. Dominic Robinson, 36%. And Kingsley Jonathan, 16%. If you do the math on that, it's actually a pretty simple rotation is how it worked. Mm-hmm. Muhammad played the right side, which is where Robert Quinn had been playing. He played 83% of the time on that side. Kingsley Jonathan came in for a few snaps, basically, to give him a breather here and there. but Al-Quani Muhammad was the guy who said, all right, they're moving him on the right side. He's playing the right side. He's got to fill in Robert Quinn's shoes. The other side, Travis Gibson, 67%, basically playing 2/3. Robinson getting the other third. My question to you is, with Muhammad going from the left side to the right side, where he really hasn't been playing much this season because that was Robert Quinn's job, how much do you think, how hard is that to do for him? For the guy, considering he wasn't playing that well early, on the left side anyway, like, does it make that big of a difference? I just noticed that when I was rewatching the game.
Yeah, so I know last year for the Colts, he played a little bit of both at times. But, yeah, seemed like he got used to playing this left side, and it's so different. Like, majority of people like playing on the left side, right, because you're really pushing off that left leg first. So it kind of changes things, especially when it comes to get off and pass rush. So, yeah, he's been struggling to begin with. So, at this point, I don't know if it really makes a difference, but I think he's trying to get the most veteran guy there at Robert Quinn's position. But I can make an argument. I think the best pass rusher is Travis Gibson out of those bunch, so he should play the right side. And I think Al-Quani Muhammad and Robinson, they should have kind of more of that three-man rotation where they spill each other. But at this point, it's just been tough with the defensive ends in general. Even when Robert Quinn was there, the lack of pressure every game, trying to get with front four. And I know they've been trying to get Roquan involved on some stunts and blitzes, which has worked. But, yeah, I think, honestly, like, you can make an argument about needs for next year. The defensive line, I think that could potentially be number 1 or 2, in my opinion. Obviously we got to do weapons for Justin Fields, address maybe another left tackle or right, depending on how Braxton Jones finishes the season. I think we'll have a better idea if they feel good about him for the future at left tackle. But, yeah, I think O-line, D-line, obviously we have to get him the weapons at receiver too. But I think if you get those, usually the games are won by the offense and defensive line.
Carman, I'll give you credit, man. He made an argument right before the season started saying,
See?
I'm worried more about the D-line than the O-line. You might be right so far.
I'll take it. And listen,
the problem is they're both bad.
Right, that is the problem. We can quibble what's a bigger need, playmaker, wide receiver, defensive line. They're both enormous needs, which is not great. But let's go, Ryan Poles. You had a great
money, a bunch of picks, right? We got a first rounder this year.
We got money and picks, which what I want to, as we figure out how they're going to do this money in these picks with the deadline tomorrow, can you please do your best explanation of why at times we see elite 16 tackle all over the field, Roquan, versus whatever that was yesterday?
Yeah.
Maybe the emotional impact,
It can't be that. But maybe it is.
Sometimes that's what I was worried about, when Robert Quinn got traded, the way he reacted, just coming off that high, and then all of a sudden you get deflated a little bit because you're like, oh, that was a guy I really looked up to and respected. He kind of taught me. I'm sure Robert Quinn taught Roquan some things about, game planning, watching film, studying, and they generally had a friendship. So, I think you can't blame it on that, but there is an impact, But for Roquan, at times this year, right, he's looked amazing, right? And I thought the past couple of weeks he's looked really good before this game. So I don't know.
But where does it stand on you? Like, because the headline for Roquan is he going to get paid? Like, has he done anything this season to encourage the Bears to say, no, we're not going to franchise you. We're going to give you the contract you want. We're going to make you the highest paid inside linebacker in the NFL. To me, he has had a couple of games where he's looked like that, but the other 6 have either been, maybe 4 of those have been like, okay, solid, and then 2 have been actually really bad.
The beginning of the year was like, I can't figure out the new defense. Then he got hot. Now he goes away again.
But the defensive line, like, you are what is playing in front of you, right? So if you have a bunch of killers up front, you look at with Dallas, Van Der Esch and them were scraping, flying around because they have a talented bunch of defensive linemen. So not to make an excuse for him, but he's getting hit quicker than most linebackers would in this league. So it's a fact, though.
I got it. But so then where I go in my head is like, look, I mean, if you got an elite defensive line in front of you and you're just being set up, then there's a lot of dudes who can make those tackles.
That's true. You can make that argument, but I think it allows your skill set to develop and play and shine.
Okay. I mean, listen. I just want them to be. I've said this now multiple times. I'll say it one more time. Do not tag him. Either you're going to sign him and you know it, and whatever the price tag is, you're going to hit it.
Is he worth that contract?
Well, I just think you have to know that in your mind. Like, we are going wherever the market goes from. We have the money to pay him. We can get creative.
Yeah.
You can get creative with NFL contracts. We're going to do it. And or if you're not going to do it, then I really don't care about the impact of the locker room right now. These guys are going to move forward. They're professionals. They're fighting for their careers, their families, whatnot. You're not trying to win the Super Bowl this year. Then make the deal. What's the best deal you can make right now? I don't think you want to play this out, tag him, and then figure it out another year. That's
do
not how
you
do
think
it.
sometimes people worry about, I'm paying him top dollar for top linebacker, when like a position like quarterback, right? It just becomes the next quarterback is essentially going to get paid, right?
Yeah.
Like when Derek Carr years ago, everyone's like, Derek Carr, he's the highest paid quarterback, but it just kind of comes with the territory. You know, the next linebacker is Roquan to get the big deal, and it's just
Teams are so scared that. But see, there's where I think the difference is, Corey, because the reason why I think that happens is because teams are so scared if we don't pay this quarterback that we know shouldn't necessarily be the highest paid quarterback, but the alternative could be way worse. Same reason why the Cardinals just gave Kyler Murray all that money when he probably didn't deserve it at this point, because got to go down that drafting Josh Rosen situation again, right? You don't want to be going down that path. I think the difference at linebacker is maybe that, okay, like
you could find more guys.
You could find another guy. It's easier than finding another guy there than a quarterback. However, I would say that sort of like tight end, there's only a handful of like elite inside linebackers in the league.
That's true. Right.
Well, and this is where you have to understand the league, which I am assuming they do. What's going to happen? They've got to be able to see your future, be your future. If we let him go to that, is he going to get the deal that he thinks he's going to get, or is it going to come back to us? Like you've got to be able to assess that in that position, I would think.
Somebody's going to pay him top dollar, whether it's us or somebody else. Like it's just.
That's why I think they're going to franchise him.
I think so.
They can't create another hole by not even having Roquan when the front seven's already trash.
Okay. But all right. So you think it's different? Like we were in the David Montgomery conversation yesterday. Neither Adam or I think that anyone's going to really overpay for him. So it will be reasonable for the Bears to bring him back. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the same thing could happen with Roquan. We really think that somebody's going to give Roquan $110 million or whatever. I mean,
I think so.
I do, because of the positional difference.
Yeah.
I think. Well, then part of my argument on that yesterday is that
if that's the case,
teams are scared to pay like that elite running back top dollar because of injuries and all that. So David Montgomery's not even in that conversation then. So that's why I think there can be some mutual ground with the linebackers, because I did say, as I said, there's only a handful of really, really good ones. I do think that there would be a team that would. I don't know that they're necessarily going to make them the highest paid. Well, the teams get desperate in free agency,
and they have a lot of money to spend. Like look at Christian Kirk. They paid him top dollar at receiver.
Yeah.
Right, and he was a 2 or 3 for Arizona most of the time. So if somebody has money and they have a need, they're going to pay top dollar for it every time. So he's going to get it from somebody if it's not from the Bears.
All right, let's talk about the quarterback.
Yeah, please.
Because
something good, right?
Because meanwhile, as bad as it was on defense, the offense, man, they put up 29 points.
240 rushing yards.
Let's have a real conversation about this. The Dallas Cowboys are good, and they're good on defense. I think they were the number 2 DVOA defensive team coming into this game. They have the opposite of what the Bears have in terms of a front seven and a defensive line. The Bears did not let Micah Parsons go off in this game. They ran the ball really well, as they've done all season long. And something we talked about, Corey, I don't know how you felt during the game. I know Fields didn't necessarily put up huge numbers in the passing game. He also didn't get help from wide receivers that could have made plays for him. He just looked comfortable. Like, there's something with Fields. I don't know if it's like his wiggle or his feet or just like the calmness, but like even on the TV copy when you're watching live and you don't necessarily know if the receiver's open or not, you can kind of tell by how he throws the ball if the receiver's there or not.
Exactly.
Does that make sense? Like before it pans over?
Yeah, he's got a little wiggle before he throws the thing.
And he was calm, cool, collected. It seemed like in rhythm yesterday. I was very encouraged.
I was, and hats off to Getsy, right? He had another great game plan, right? I know in the first drive it kind of didn't work out, but the thing with Justin Fields, what gets him confident, you talked about the confidence, that little wiggle, when he can get on the run, that's when he starts to get his confidence up. You know, you can just tell when he scrambles for a third and long, all of a sudden in his head, you could just see how he comes back to the huddle. He's got a little giddy up in his step, and I think that's what gets him going. And Getsy, shout out to him, because he did a great job of doing what he's comfortable with. Some of the design runs, allowing him to get on the move a little bit. That's 2 back-to-back great game plans from Getsy, and we've been critical of him all year. So Justin Fields, he showed exactly what we kind of thought he'd be this year, right? The numbers didn't woo or wow you, but his ability to run and limit his turnovers, that's what we saw in this game. So, and some of the throws were right on the money. If he connects to Velus Jones, he put that right on the money to him. He's got to catch that.
And there was also just the way things unfolded. Like, he's negative play, and then next thing you know, he's throwing a dart to N'Keal Harry for a touchdown pass, leading him perfectly. I mean, it was ugly. He's throwing an interception that's called back because he's getting hit in the face, and then the next play is the Harry play. So he has shown over and over again that he can, when adversity hits, he moves forward, and he moves forward immediately. So, and I liked after the game, they were asking about it, like, how do you feel about it? I feel good about it. That's a good defense. We put up 29 points. Like, yeah. That's right.
Could have been more if Montgomery didn't fumble.
Yeah.
They're driving there. So
feel good about yourself. You should. You absolutely should. So
let me ask you this question: who's the Bears' best ball carrier?
You know, it's interesting because you look at. I mean, they barely. Khalil Herbert barely played yesterday. What was his snap count?
I thought it was pretty much split.
No,
he had 16 carries for 99 yards in the running game.
Hold on.
6.2.
Yeah, but hold on. He was on the field. I'll pull it up. The guy that gets more love on the show than anybody on the show, Kevin Fishbane, had the snap.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Montgomery 70%. Herbert was only 28%.
Yeah.
So look at that production with 28% of the snaps.
He's on the field 28% of the time. I mean, it's
so much for the hot hand thing. But back to my original question: who's the best ball carrier on the team?
Wow, a really long pause by me right there, because
it's Justin Fields.
Hands down.
It's Justin Fields.
Okay,
I was
just having an argument in my head about the two running backs.
I know, but that's kind of where I was going. Like, you think about the running backs, and the reality is the Bears have two good running backs. They have a great running back tandem, and they're not even the best ball carriers in terms of just like speed and ability to run with the football. I've been seeing this go viral in the last 20 minutes. Multiple people have tweeted it, but Justin Fields was registered by Next Gen Stats as being the fastest ball carrier in the NFL yesterday.
What speed?
The speed, I think it was
21.23
miles per hour.
That is flying.
And he does it so effortlessly.
Yeah.
You know what you got to love about the dude? He works his ass off. His body is chiseled. This dude, he is for the old school people out here who love number 9 and like to say that Jim McMahon is the greatest quarterback in Bears history that we've seen outside of Sid Luckman, which I think is a fair statement because the dude was a winner. Field is the exact opposite. McMahon's out hanging out, drinking beers, headbutting, doing like just living life and doing whatever he was doing. God bless him. Enjoy your time in life. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Justin Fields is the exact opposite. Yep. This dude is, I mean, he's you videos of him all over the place in the weight room where he's doing squats of 400 pounds, and he is. I
went and had one of those acai bowls too that Nick wrote about.
Lolo's,
shout out Lolo's in Libertyville. It's pretty good.
Do you know how hard it is to be that successful and to not be able to eat meat? You could get
it's like a dessert treat but everything's healthy for you. It's amazing.
That's what they say, right?
Yeah, but I know, but you're probably right.
It's probably a lot of sugar in there.
but it's all natural fruit sugar.
That's great. Like once in a while, and I could probably have one every day. But this dude sits here and to be I give credit to the vegans out there. It ain't easy. That's a dedication move by Fields.
Yeah,
dudes. I mean, there's video of him sitting there in his kitchen cutting up onions and zucchini and what's that?
Cutting up onions, was he crying?
I got you there, Corey.
Yeah, Carman went over it.
His toughness, I didn't even see the tears. This dude's cutting up onions and he's good to go. I just, there's a lot to appreciate here. He has been working for this and it's coming. And, I'm on, different texts this morning. Like, where do you rank him?
Well, how about this question? Just, Corey, I'll ask you this. Yeah. Redraft the 2021 draft class with the quarterbacks. Who's going number 1?
I don't know. I like Justin Fields. I've always liked him, right? I like what he can do and bring to the table. And I feel like we're finally just starting to see a little bit of that because he hasn't even scratched the surface of what he can be. So in my opinion, he was always my favorite coming out, and I still think so, right? Early on.
He was your favorite coming out?
Yeah, he was. Because of what he did at Ohio State. He's a proven winner. Yeah. He's played snaps. I didn't like the Trubisky pick years ago because I didn't think he had the experience.
There was only one person that liked him.
Yeah, and as at a quarterback, I like a guy that's experienced. Unless you plan to sit him, for 3-4 years behind somebody. But at that point, if you're trading up for somebody high, you got to play him day one. And I like Justin Fields.
Well, first of all, if we're being honest, like Zach Wilson's not playing well right now. He had a terrible game yesterday. I had also heard some stuff before the season even began questioning that there were people in New York questioning his understanding of the playbook and things like that and just picking up things. And meanwhile, like nobody was really questioning that with Justin. It was more so of, the speed of things and some of the reads and stuff like that. But no one's questioning, the work and understanding the offense. Meanwhile, Trey Lance is just tough right now, man. Like, he hasn't played. Yeah. And now it's going to be, like, essentially 3 straight years of not playing football, which is going to be really hard to overcome. So that might just be some bad luck there with him, but it's still part of the equation. So it really comes down to, Mac Jones, come on. We all see the limitations with Mac Jones. And same thing with Davis Mills. So it really is it Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields? I think just the fact that it's a debate, even if you're going to lean Trevor Lawrence right now, speaks to, in what was a loaded draft class, like, you got to feel good about the Bears.
I do.
One team had the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
The other team had the 20th overall pick. Yep. And managed to get – so for all the, hate for Ryan Pace, which a lot of it deserved – at least he gave the Bears it looks like a huge party gift.
Well, think about Trevor Lawrence. He has a lot more weapons than Justin Fields in his offense. And they're 2-6.
And he's been struggling recently.
Exactly. So you put those same weapons on the Bears team right now, Justin Fields would be throwing for 250 to 300 every game with those type of weapons.
Well, I think so. I think Hoge makes a great point in that the fact that it's even a conversation is a huge win for Fields, the Bears, Ryan Pace, whoever you want to put out there. That's all that these are positive things. I'm shocked that it is because Trevor Lawrence coming in, I thought that dude was going to be a straight stud. Like I loved him. However, if I was picking right now between the two, I would take Fields and I would just do it with just please don't get hurt because there is the style of play where he is more prone to do it. But I would just bet on the fact that Justin Fields is a physical freak. He's a freak in nature. So the speed is one thing. It's also the strength.
Yeah, and that's why I go back to what I was saying yesterday, or last week, and people were calling me crazy on social media and stuff. But like, if you get the quarterback run game going in a designed, controlled way, he's actually going to take fewer hits over the course of the game. The one hit he took running the football yesterday was his fault, which he took responsibility for after the game because he didn't go out of bounds.
Exactly.
Right.
There's a difference between just getting tackled when you're going out, and actually taking shots. Mm-hmm. And so the last 2 games since they got this going, it's only been a couple legitimate shots that he's taken. He has taken a couple, but they were both in drop back situations, not with him running the ball.
On the outside zone runs, those like design runs with him on the outside, I love those, right? Because he has the opportunity to get out of bounds, get to the sideline. And the game plan was one-on-one on DeMarcus Lawrence. And he's probably the least athletic of all the defensive ends on the Cowboys. And they're like, okay, when he's out there, we're going to go zone reads, we're going to do play actions towards the side, and we're going to have Justin Fields one-on-one on him. And Justin Fields hit the corner on him at will. So that was great by Getsy,
easy.
Maximizing that matchup.
When you look at the quarterbacks, say a year from now, right? Mm-hmm. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Let's put them all in the top tier. He's not there. Okay, I'm taking Brady and Aaron out of the equation. Y'all are you're done.
Old.
All right. Then the next group: Lamar, Stafford, Jalen Hurts,
Tua. If he continues,
I don't love Tua, but okay, fine. But that's where I think Fields is. He's going to be in that group, and he should be in that group for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not. I don't think he's not going to hit the top. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not. He doesn't have that.
But can he be that?
I don't think so. But that's fine. He's in the 6 to 12, 13 realm. That's awesome. Bears haven't had that and
There haven't been a lot of good quarterbacks this year too. That's what's been weird.
Yeah.
well, that speaks to
And two legends have fallen off dramatically.
Yeah.
Brady and Rodgers right now.
right.
Russell Wilson being the third, too, probable Hall of Famer, falling off massively.
Let's ride. Can he stop saying that?
How many?
That's right.
Yeah, I think he did actually. I heard he stopped saying that actually.
He said it yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh no.
He said he had
how
Wolverine
much
blood
time on
or
the
something.
flight home did he spend working out? That's all I want to know.
I feel like he's that guy that just does stuff when the camera's on him. You know, that classic example of that guy that just wants to do the most when you know someone's watching. Like, yeah, let's go, guys. Come on. Yeah, we're over here hyped up. And then all of a sudden when the camera's there, he's like,
What would you have done though if you were on an 8-hour flight to London and one of the players was working out in the aisle for 4 of the 8 hours?
he was saying, man, sit your ass down,
Right?
man. Like, come on. We're on a flight right now. I can understand getting up and walking around so that way, you know, all the blood in your legs.
Right, you gotta get up, move around,
circulate
absolutely.
and all that. But
You don't
if
do high knees for 4 hours. What do
he
you-
probably had one of those headbands that he tied over there looking like Rambo. Like, guys, I'm ready. You know, I'm more dedicated. I think for him, a lot of it is show, to be honest with you. I think he's trying to put out this persona like he's the most dedicated person. I think he is, but don't try to overdo it. Be how you always have been. And that's simple. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and obviously the coaching and everything over there, but I think he's just trying a little too hard.
I'm 100% with you on this one. And if I was, dude, you are going to sit down. I would be calling out if I was.
Are you fighting him?
If I was the punter though, I would make sure that if I was whatever I was, the long snapper, I would make sure I have friends on the team like Woot, and I'd be walk over. I'm like, will you please deck this guy? I would do.
Sit down.
But Hoge, do you think Justin Fields can be a top 5 quarterback in this league?
Ooh.
I mean, people.
I'll pose the question for everyone out
Do
there.
I think
too.
he can be? Yes. Do I think he can be? Yes.
So if this offseason, right, they surround him with talent at the receiver, we get a catching tight end, right?
Yes.
A really red zone target guy that can stretch the field at tight end. We have 2 really good receivers. We keep the same running backs we have. We beef up the defensive line. I feel pretty good about him being a
That's kind
top
of the
5.
point I made yesterday. Woot was like, he's doing all this the last couple of weeks with not a lot of help.
putting the
Dude,
team on his
look-
back, literally.
Look at the optimism in the chat. Like, people are wanting to fight back on the fact that he can't be top 5. Bears fans, good for you. Let's get some serious optimism in here, because I'm not.
So, question for you guys: based on the way in the games that Tua has played, is he a top 5 quarterback in this league right now? The way he's played, I'm just asking. Okay. I'm asking based on what he's put on the table, stats wise.
Is Tua top 5?
Yeah, right
That's
now.
what you're asking.
Right now in the league. Look at the top quarterbacks right now.
Well, that's where it gets in the conversation of like, you know, stats versus is he really one of the top 5? I mean, he's definitely been one of the better quarterbacks this year. He also has Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill to throw the ball to. So,
But that's what I'm saying. You see what weapons can do to you, right?
I would say this: who's more talented between the 2 quarterbacks? I would side with Justin Fields,
Justin Fields 100%.
without a
hands down.
doubt. But Tua's been better, and he was better coming out from Alabama at reading defenses and understanding what's happening. That's where Fields still has to
Get better at.
Get better.
No,
but
I
that comes
agree
with
with you.
experience.
Tua's ball it's a floater, man. That thing is up there for a long time. He does not have the arm strength of Fields. I love Tua as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
I like squeeze every drop of lemon that he possibly lemon juice out of the lemon, if you will. That's what Tua is going to bring to the table.
What did he just say?
Squeeze the lemon juice.
He squeezed
Something
the
about lemons. I don't know.
Too much squeezing, man.
I think that's because Corey's wearing that beautiful
Yeah,
yellow
right?
shirt. Though. Thinking of lemon.
He squeezes every bit of juice
This is
that he
very-
can get out of himself.
This is a very colorful podcast right
It
now.
is,
If you're
yeah, it
watching
is.
on YouTube, and we appreciate, please hit the like button, subscribe.
Yeah.
To the whole quarterback rating, QBR. I mean, Tua is number 1 in the NFL right now. But
In QBR,
he's number 1 in QBR. He's number 1 in quarterback rating. However,
yeah, Mitch Trubisky was number 4 in QBR. one
right.
year.
Well, so
But his actual stats, his yards, his touchdowns, they're up there.
Yeah,
Like,
I know,
You
I
can't
know.
deny that.
No, and another way to judge quarterback play sometimes is when they're not in there, what happens with the team? And
Teddy
they fell off.
Bridgewater?
They
Yeah.
fell off massively when Tua was out. I don't want to take anything away from Tua. I think it's actually a really good story. That was one of the biggest stories in the NFL coming into the season. Actually, was like, all right, this is it for Tua.
I mean,
he's either it or he's not, and he's showing that he should be their starter.
they're bunched yardage wise, but for the record, he is 17th, and he's not at the top there.
But he was also gone for, what, 3
Right.
weeks?
If we
You
do,
got to go by
let's-
yards
let-
per game.
Yeah.
Let's do it yards per game.
Okay.
Let's go yards per game. He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Gotta be
7,
in
8, 9.
300s.
He's 9. His yards per game right now are 279.7.
I'd say he's a top 10 quarterback.
Mhm.
How he's played. I don't know if I go top 5 yet, but hey, real quick, this weekend the tailgate's coming up. Get your tickets now. We're gonna have a lot of fun Sunday for this game. Noon game. We'll be out there just like we were for the tailgate in September. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you go to allchgo.com. Get your tickets. Includes all food and drinks. We're going to be out there too. We can't wait to hang out with you. We might even get on the mic for a little bit, talk a little Bears for you. But otherwise, there's music. There's, like I said, all food and drinks. And we got games to play, cornhole, because our
You gonna
friends
bring
at...
it out?
I'm my whole foot.
What was that?
I don't know.
Woot,
What was that?
Woot doesn't
Show
like
me
my
it.
form.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that was awful.
Come on, man. Oh, man.
You just got to do. It's like a little bit of a shimmy, and then it's a.
You
boom.
look like you're like giving somebody like the hand. Like, don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me.
I have. Are you coming on Sunday? Are you
No, I won't be there.
All right, so Carm's not
I'll
playing
be there Monday,
bags.
though. I'll be there Monday.
But-
No, I am playing bags.
Okay,
I'm taking out all comers.
Hey, with that form, you should challenge him right now. But regardless, you're going to see our awesome sets from Chi-Town Custom Cornhole, the #1 cornhole provider for Chicagoland and Illinois since 2007. The signature box style can be digitally printed, covered in vinyl, and painted. The cornhole boards come with a built-in drink holders, which is great. Recessed lighting. I'm sorry. The drink holders are recessed in the back, but then they have the LEDs that light up in the hole, which is pretty sweet. So if you're playing at nighttime or even if the sun's a little bit low, it's a great feature. And they have the handles, so it makes it easier for carrying. And the company is veteran owned and operated, which is great. They can ship these anywhere. They offer local pickups if you're in this area. They specialize in corporate designs. So if your company needs some marketing or for a social event, wedding gifts. I got a wedding coming up here in a couple weeks I gotta go to. Maybe that might be a good gift. Gifts for really all occasions, especially for tailgaters, backyard barbecues. You can see them in person if you come to the tailgate this weekend, but also check out their website, ChiTownCornhole.com. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at Chi-Town Custom Cornhole Boards.
And while you get ready to see the Bears win 5 games in a row, beating Miami at home, beating Detroit at home, no problem. Going down to Atlanta, taking out the Falcons. They should have lost yesterday to Carolina, missing field goals left and right. Come on, 35-yarders.
Eddie Pinheiro, man.
Eddie Pinheiro with a really rough day. That was ugly. Going to beat the Jets, no problem. And then coming home to get Green Bay 5 in a row. There will be some really exciting moments in there. Perhaps Cairo Santos is lining up for a key onside kick, and then you just feel like it's not going to work out for the Bears that day. The winning streak is on the line. They're in Atlanta. Can they get to 5 in a row? And Carm's going to be right. Tension's high. Yes. Like that one? You can make
You're still
every
in like
play.
the first 2 sentences of this read.
This is an ad read.
This is unbelievable.
You can make every play, every moment this exciting when you use the DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner in the NFL. Come on, we all felt it right there. Any $5 NFL bet, $5, you get $200 in free bets if your team wins, like the Bears are going to do. 5 in a row, damn it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code CHGO. You know it, you love it. $200 in free bets if your team wins, i.e. the Bears. Let's go. $5 bet at any football game.
This is the first time I've noticed Don Burr in a while.
What's up, Don?
Yeah.
Has he been around or no? Did he disappear when the Lions went 1-8 or whatever they are?
He's been around occasionally. It's not
That's
as
how bad they are. They're
you
1-8 in only 8 weeks of play.
yeah.
Like, that's how bad they are.
He's still around.
Dan Campbell versus everybody, right? That's what he keeps saying.
I hate that Dan Campbell's going to get fired. That dude was great entertainment.
He's going to get fired?
I don't
Don't you
so.
think Dan Campbell's
He's
going to
been
get
in
fired?
every game.
They've got to fire
He's
Dan
literally
Campbell.
been in every game.
Yeah, I
don't
wouldn't
know
fire him.
No, I wouldn't. They're in most games. They're winning
Yo,
most
that
games.
was a complete
Come
gut
on, they lost
rebuild.
8,000 to
They
0.
have some awful players on the field.
No, they're losing 8,000 to 7,095.
No. Didn't Detroit? That's
You know,
not true.
okay,
Detroit just
you know-
got killed.
You know how in Hard Knocks
They
every
lost
year
31-27 to the
Not
Dolphins.
this week. They blew another game where they were up. What were they up? They
were up a lot, 17-0, I think, on the
Yeah.
Dolphins. But the Dolphins are way better than them. Look, you know in Hard Knocks every year how they always introduce the
They lost to the
characters?
Patriots 29 to zip. They lost to the Cowboys 24-6.
The Cowboys are a good team. They're
The
not.
Patriots loss was bad.
The Cowboys are
They played the Vikings. They were up in most of that game.
right,
Yeah.
and they just blow games.
It was at
They lost
Minnesota
to,
too.
They lost to the Seahawks 48-45.
Are you firing Matt Eberflus because they got 49 points yesterday? Like, it's the same logic. They don't have good players. It's a rebuild.
They're come on. Dan would you like to make a wager that Dan Campbell is the Lions coach next year?
Yes, because
Yeah,
I think the organization needs to be more patient
All
than
right,
they
here
have
we
been.
go. I will bet you this fine CHGO Bulls hat.
A, that is not a CSGO.
What are you
based
talking
item.
about?
B, that's not yours to give away.
Exactly.
C, it's in the studio, so henceforth it is CHGO's, and E, I'm wearing it, so I can't
The
give
bug
it away.
is taking off the circulation to his brain, so he cannot think.
Whose
right.
hat is this?
I mean, it's just a prop that we've had on set. It's not yours to be given to anyone.
But Dan Campbell, unless they start losing and getting blown out the rest of the season, if they're competitive every game like he's been for the most part,
And
he's
I
gonna
think
stay there.
they should be on Hard Knocks again next year. You know how every year on Hard Knocks they introduce the characters at the beginning of like the first episode. And you're like, these are all the guys that are gonna get cut in the last episode. You know, all those guys made the team this year. That's how you know they're bad.
By the way, the Lions just fired one of their coaches. The defensive coach, Aubrey Pleasant, has been fired.
Oh no, he's a Badger.
Aubrey Pleasant out the door. You
He
think
played
that's
defensive back for Wisconsin.
It's the appetizer. Detroit Lions have fired defensive backs coach Aubrey Pleasant, even though Corey Wootton and Adam Hoge are screaming at Carm, and Lawrence is too. Fine, I'll give away this Bulls. I own this. How's that?
Who are you giving it to again? What's
One of these two, if they want to bet. If they want to
they
bet
don't
me,
can't
I'll-
even fit in it, man. Come on.
you can.
What is that? A Schmedium, buddy?
Do you see this? You feel that?
He's
Mooch?
jacked.
Come on, I do yoga.
How do you guys feel about this week against the Dolphins? Honestly,
I think they got a chance. 4.5 point underdogs. The Bears are at home, and
they're not a dominant running team for the most part. They like to pass the ball,
They're bottom of the NFL running the football.
right?
that's where the matchup wise, and this is the thing that I think we got to keep in mind. Like, there's been some weeks where the Bears have looked awful on defense. There's been some where they've been okay, and I think this might be a week where they're okay. Like, I think they get over the Robert Quinn thing a little bit. The fact that their strength, the Dolphins' strength, is the passing game, not necessarily rushing, plays into where the Bears' strength actually is on defense. So,
But
and if the offense keeps humming,
But Tyreek Hill,
Yeah,
that makes me nervous. But the thing is, I this is what we're going to see this week, right? They're going to be so scared of the speed, at the wide receiver, especially with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They're going to play so far off. What are they going to do? Just exactly what the Cowboys did. 5-yard slants, 8-yard ends, and just carve away. And then all of a sudden we can't get the same pressure. So it's going to be critical, like this week, what is the game plan against them, right? How are we bringing pressure? What's the coverage? Are we going to be so far off them with the cushion because you're worried about Tyreek Hill? So I know they're really not going to run the football. That's not their mantra, but
This is a come to Flus, get the defense back to respectability moment for him.
does he call the plays this week?
I don't think he does, but that'd be fine if he did. And I'm 1,000% 1,000% picking the Bears to win this week. Offense
I'm
rolls.
going on a 5-game winning streak.
I do. I mean, I'm going to drink.
I do think this could be the part of the season where they win 2 in a row.
Because the Dolphins would come in and just be like, they're a bad team defensively. We're going to mop up on them. And then all of a sudden they bring their best game plan for them and what they've been doing well.
It would have been worse if the Dolphins had lost to the Lions.
Yeah.
Because then they would have been like
supercharged up.
Supercharged. We can't let that happen again. And but the fact that they pull it out, I think the Bears can win this game. If they do, then they get the Lions next week. So you can win a couple games.
How many games do you think they're going to win in their next 5? Miami, Detroit, Atlanta, the Jets, and Green Bay.
I feel good except the Dolphins and then Green Bay. Because Green Bay, I feel like they always have the Bears number.
So 3-2?
I'm going to say 3-2 is doable. I said that yesterday, too, when you were like, they're going to win 5 in a row. They're going to go 3-3.
But maybe Rodgers and company will still be struggling, and then all of a sudden we hit them at a good time. So I guess we'll see.
3-2 would be good, though. We get them to 6 wins, and then they just need one more to hit the over on the season.
We're going for it right now. Let's get hot. Let's go Flus. Let's keep rolling fields. Let's live this dream. Let's wear a shark outfit. Let's look like the sun, and let's go Bulls.
Let's get to the Super Chats.
Let's get to the Super Chats. Can we put Braggs last?
Sure.
I'm trying to get this back over my head. It's hard.
I'm going to throw a brick at him or something.
There we go.
Jordan Skelly, he says Javon Hargrave and Marcus Davenport need to be priority free agent targets this offseason. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, they're talented guys, man. I would like to potentially go after like Bradley Chubb or something like that. See, I like that.
He might get traded.
Yeah,
today.
Let's trade for him, baby. Come on.
I be honest, I'm not ready. I'll make that my homework today to pick out my top targets for who they should be going after.
You don't need to do that today. You can do that in January. It's okay.
I want to get ahead of the game.
We have shows to do every day in January, February, and March.
We'll be right.
We'll break down free agency when the season's over.
Do you have an assignment for me that's better than that right now for tomorrow?
Yes. You wanted to do a whole trade deadline show yesterday when the Bears had a game. So maybe we do that tomorrow.
Trade deadline show? Okay. It is the trade deadline tomorrow. Let's go, Ryan Poles.
All right, what else we got here?
All right, Joe Calcagno. $4.99
Calcagno!
Super Chat. I understand the philosophy of a complete teardown. Would it have been better to retool and keep some players like Hicks or Goldman, Tonga, Nichols?
See, I still think this is more of a retool than a teardown.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to fit the guys that fit in the 4-3 scheme, you know?
Like, if they trade David Montgomery and Roquan Smith in the next 24 hours, then it's a complete teardown.
Yeah.
They're not doing that.
They're just trying to get the pieces that fit for a 4-3, attacking style front. But you could make an argument that Hicks and company would be doing better than what we have now, right? Like, that's a fair assessment.
Hicks has been hurt.
I know he's been hurt, but
yeah.
I'm saying, like, if he was healthy and
sure,
that could be better than what was going on here. It's been disappointing to see this defense the way it is. It's not stopping the run. It's so disheartening, right? When you can't stop the run, you just can't stop anything. The play action opens up. The coverage can't be as tight. Can't get pressure on the quarterback. It's a combination of things.
Opportunities out there for you young Bears to grab right now.
D-Rob, let's go. Let's see it.
D-Rob,
give him more snaps, I think, than Al-Qadim Muhammad. Like
1,000%.
Right? Like, fair enough.
Yep, absolutely. All right, last two.
Yeah, we're going to end up with a double dip from Braggs.
Hi, Braggs.
I love you, Braggs.
He says, Carm's costume isn't a costume. Nice job, Adam.
Okay, I got to give all the credit to Kevin.
Where's Corey's costume? Does he not like having fun?
Yeah, that's
Do
the
I
other
not
one.
like having fun?
Well, first
I'm going
of
to take
all,
a brick. I'm going to throw a brick at you, all right? Because you got to go to work. You over here, you ain't working. You over here worrying about what we're doing.
Corey,
go to work.
You should have seen him yesterday. It was a scene. He scared half the neighborhood. I'll show you the video after the show.
Oh, no.
I mean,
okay, Braggs likes his Halloween. Couple things here. First of all, I have to give the credit for this costume fully to Kevin Kaduk. This is his costume. It is not mine. He brought it in for me to wear, so thank you. Yeah. Second, I'm not even going to say we. Carm did to Woot what you did to us yesterday. You came in costume and didn't tell us that it was a costume party.
Yeah, I didn't get a text from Carm. Look,
Carm calls me this morning.
I called you.
Did you text me?
Did you call him though?
He's
I'm defending Woot right now. Is what I'm doing.
Wow. So I guess we're not that close, and I guess okay.
And my response was, Wooten's probably not going to have one, so we shouldn't have.
So I which is why I brought multiple outfits that Woot just
you brought 5 jerseys, 0 Halloween costumes.
He brought a small jersey. I wore that in about 5th grade, Carm. Gosh.
My White Sox onesie might have fit you. You could have at least like wrapped it around your head and just gone into some.
This is his costume. He's got his belt.
Bragg's over there talking reckless right now. I know what he's going to be. He's going to be a clown. He's just going to show up as himself.
Oh man.
So listen. I do apologize. I should have called Woot, but I know that you're coming up from St. Louis. You were here yesterday. You weren't going to go impromptu Target, get a costume on the run. But maybe I should have given you.
I was going to bring my Tiger Woods Sunday red with the vest, Tiger hat. So the new glove. I would have been ready.
But I needed to hit you yesterday.
You did.
I did. Or
but
2 days ago.
Carm.
So I was slow on it.
We were talking about chemistry, energy within the group. He hits up one guy, but not the other.
But I only got it.
And I guess some people saying I'm a minion or whatever. I watch all those movies with the kids.
My 1-year-old sounds like a minion right now. It's really cute, actually.
I should have dressed as Katy Perry. I needed one of those wigs.
Left shark.
Why do people got to be going at my shins? I mean, come on, Doug Dyer. These are athletic, thin, explosive.
Yo, Braggs. Next time I see you, buddy, on one of these weekend games when I'm in here, bro, we're gonna have to lay out the carpet. We're gonna get 10 yards set up.
Boy.
And we're gonna do Oklahoma drill.
Oh no.
Me versus Braggs. I'm not.
Oh, no.
I've been waiting for this moment.
And we're going to have no more brags.
We can have a brick at the end of him because I'm throwing him through the bricks. All right, and then we're gonna pick it after and say brick by brick, Braggs, brick by brick. Yep.
See that Oklahoma drill thing?
I'm going to end the show before it gets worse.
I'm telling you, Braggs, you can apologize or whatever. It's not gonna stop what's happening to you. All right, it's not.
Wow. Make sure you go to chgolocker.com and get that beautiful shirt that's down there. And Left Shark says Happy Halloween.
The champ says Happy Halloween
champ
as well.
And whatever Carm is.
Bootleg Jordan.
I'm
Bootleg Jordan.
I'm MJ, baby.
You are.
Let's go.
Bootleg Jordan. I love that. All right, we're back tomorrow, and we'll have. Let's see. Grades are Tuesday, and more rewatch Nuggets. We'll keep it positive on offense.
It's trade deadline Tuesday, baby. Who's got? Do they do anything?
No.
I don't. I think they should. They take a shot at somebody.
You think they should trade for somebody?
Potentially.
Wow.
I mean,
Make something happen, right?
I don't hate it, depending on who.
If you can get somebody that's going to be here for the next 3 to 4 years, that could be an integral part of this team, pass rusher, something like that. Why not?
You're playing with house money right now, Ryan Poles.
If it's the right player,
It's the right move.
We'll talk about all the trade deadline stuff tomorrow. Happy Halloween. Enjoy the trick-or-treating. Be safe. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon.